Welcome to the Kinda Krunchy podcast, where we talk about all things health and wellness. We can't wait for you to hear today's episode, so let's get to it. Hello guys, welcome back to the Kinda Krunchy podcast. We have a fun episode today, our health hot takes.
Yeah.
So we might cancel ourselves.
Yeah.
These, you might be angry at us, but today is actually my birthday when this episode goes out. So you can't be mad at me.
You can only be mad at Jensen.
Yeah, you can only cancel Jensen. I'm uncancelable today. It's my one day. It's my birthday. So
how old are you, Rachel?
27. Which feels ancient. I guess this is kind of my life update. Today's my birthday. I feel like we just graduated high school, but it's been almost 10 years. It's weird because I'm like, oh, is this how it is forever? You still feel like you relate to the kids in high school, but you're like actually old. I have gray hairs, a lot of them now. It'll be a miracle if I'm not fully gray before I have babies, I keep saying. My mom went fully gray at 16 years old, and it runs in the family, so I am doing pretty well considering that. I've really
You've
outlasted
defied the odds. So
yeah. I have already made the decision. When my hair goes gray, I'm gonna be the gray girl. I'm letting it go. My mom's hair is short though. I look awful with any kind of short hair. I cut my hair here and I'm crying, okay? Like up by my neck. Yeah, I'm gonna have long gray hair and I don't care if I look like a witch. And I'm probably gonna have toddlers and have this long gray hair. And it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be majestic. I will also say my mother's hair is not wiry. And it is the most beautiful, natural, gray, white, black hair. Like, I don't know what happened, but her hair coloration, like people ask her if she dyes it like that. But I've never known my mom without gray hair. She's had it since I was a kid. So I'm like, you know what? The tradition continues. So I literally just plucked a gray hair in Jensen's bathroom and was like, 27. So yeah, that's my, do you have any gray hairs yet?
No, not yet, but Logan does. And I like point them out, which is kind of funny. But
Yeah.
not yet. Okay, I was my parents' church and I received like the craziest compliment. I was like helping like greet at my parents' church because actually my parents are greeters at their church, which is really cute now. But my dad was golfing, so my dad's like, "Can you fill in for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can say hi."
They're like, "This girl goes to our church."
They're like, "Who is this girl greeting us?" And I was talking to some people there, and the one girl's like, I said like, "Oh yeah, like I'm married and I live in Lancaster." They're like, "You're married?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, how would, and I like, we got into, I was like, "How old do you think I am?" She's like, "I thought you were 16. And I'm like, "I don't know who you are, but I love you."
You do
like,
look young.
I
like in a good way, not like in a
so
childish
I'm
way.
like a high school youth leader, and like, I remember like, one of the girls one time was like, "I thought you were a student." And I'm like, "You can tell me that. I'm okay with that." Like, which is, it's funny. I feel like I do have like a very like, young looking persona. I feel like I've always looked kind of young, but like,
yeah,
I'm not mad about it. So I'm like, when people tell me I look young, I'm like, just keep telling me, even if you don't think it. It makes me. It makes
I've
me feel
literally
good.
always been told that people think I'm older than I am.
You've always, even in high school, you've had like a mature look. Like you've always just like looked older.
I've been grandma at heart, right? No, I really have been told that. Like in college, I worked in a student tutoring center, and some of my co-tutors told me they thought I was a returning adult student. Like I was a married, like adult woman. I was like, "I'm younger than you. Thank you." But I'm okay with it. I don't take it offensively as like they think I'm wrinkly and old. I take it as like,
You're just like,
they always say no. It's like the way you carry yourself seems like you're like have children and you're 50, and I'm like, thanks. I just skipped childhood. I'm sure I need therapy for like the issues surrounding
Rachel's
that.
just wise beyond her years. But I wanted to ask
so
you,
wise, yeah. Now I'm 27.
You're 27, but
You have so much to learn from me.
I do, Jensen. Get on my level. You're only 26. Okay, Rachel, are you doing anything fun for your birthday? I know this is still like we're a month from your birthday basically right now, but would you have any fun plans or anything you want to do?
Okay, my birthday.
Oh.
I'm just gonna be honest, when it's my birthday, it's a big deal.
Okay,
I like
everything.
people to make a big deal out of my birthday. So wish me happy birthday online. No, I'm joking.
But actually,
my birthday is a big deal, and the people around me know it. It's the day about me, and I'm going to be celebrated for all the lovely things I am.
If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Happy birthday, Rachel,
Happy birthday,
because it's going to make her feel really good.
Yes, it will, actually. I'll get external validation and feel amazing. So my birthday, my husband's family goes camping every year, and it's like a big trip, right? They go, we were just saying, like, we need our intro to not be so long. Well, this is getting a little, sorry, but okay. They go on this big trip, like aunts and uncles come, cousins come. They have like 10 people camping at campsites. They have like these nice RVs and campers. It's like bougie camping. So I've gone since like high school when my husband and I were dating. Like I'd go up and visit like their campsite because it's only a couple hours from our house and whatever. They always go over my birthday, which like fine when I was living at my house with my parents and whatever. Like, you know, my birthday's a big deal at my house. But then like my husband and I got married, we're always camping for my birthday. And like, so I'm always like, okay, we need to plan when's my birthday. That's not the day of my birthday. Like which weekend are we doing Rachel's day? And then also on my birthday, you need to make a big deal out of me. There have been many a birthdays, and this is going to sound so shallow, but I have literally been in tears because there is a cousin that comes and an uncle that comes that have a birthday on the 2nd and 6th of August. So we get a combo cake and song. That does not cut it for me. I have my own birthday. I am my own person. Thank you. I want the cake I want with the candles of yours. I am. And I'm not doing a joint song and blowing out the candles. No, I'm doing my own thing. And like, how do you tell your soon-to-be mother-in-law, no, you're making me my own cake with my own candles? So then I'm like telling my husband, my birthday, I'm gonna cry if this doesn't happen, so you need to make it happen. So then he's like telling his mom, no, you have to get Rachel her own cake. And then I feel so shallow, but like it matters to me. I'm sorry, it matters to me. So we do Rachel's birthday celebration. They probably all think I'm self-absorbed, but it really does matter to me. So I'm going to be there on the day of my birthday. So I did already tell my mother and father-in-law. He wanted one of like those, I forget what they're called, the nice pizza ovens that like sit tabletop to make like wood fire pizza for Christmas, my father-in-law. I want one, but I didn't get one. I got one for him. He still hasn't taken it out of the box because he's waiting till the summer. And he said, I'm going to take it camping. And I told him, I was like, my birthday is pizza night. I do not want to not, like, I have to leave some of the days for work things. And I was like, I'm not missing pizza night. We're doing pizza night on my birthday. So we'll just do a cake, sit around the campfire. It is nice because my parents go too, and my family, like, because our parents are friends now. So it's a ton of people there, all celebrating me. It just like fills my little ego cups.
What kind of cake do you want? Like, what's your ideal birthday cake?
It changes every year.
Okay, well, what's this year? Or do you not know yet?
I haven't decided yet. And some years it's not cake. Sometimes it's like a brownie or like some different dessert. But my mom was offended many years because I wanted to make my own birthday cake.
I remember you making like you made like a chocolate cake. That was
if I have a vision,
I
want to do it. Yes, I made like the Matilda cake. You know Matilda, the movie where they have like the really chocolatey layered cake. I've done other layered cakes. I've done carrot cakes, different things. And my mom always wants to make for me, and I rob her of the blessing.
Rob her of her blessing.
Sometimes I just have such a vision. Yeah. You know, but someone can make it for me this year. I haven't decided. It'll be a last minute. But always a buttercream, not a whipped icing.
Oh, good to know. I love celebrating my birthday too. Logan's not a birthday guy, and it's funny how like I feel like you marry each other. You're like, one person's like, birthdays or whatever, and the other person's like, you have to recognize my birthday. And then it's like trying to find that middle ground because I'm always like, Logan, we have to celebrate you, and he's like, and I'm like, but then it's mine. But Logan does a good job of celebrating. Like he knows that birthdays mean a lot to me, so he does a good job with it. But
we're at a good place now.
Yeah.
High school boys. When we were dating, they don't care that much about birthdays, yours or theirs. But we've come a long way in understanding why it matters. And I want a gift on my birthday, even if there's going to be other gifts on the day we celebrate my birthday. My birthday will have a cake and a gift and a song and a big deal about me on the day of my birthday. And it matters. So
I love it.
Yeah, you opened a whole can of worms.
Sorry.
Yes, that's a whole thing. But we're in a good place now.
We are. My life update, I was just gonna kind of share like what's happening this weekend. So Rachel, we're out here recording, and then after we kick them out, I'm just kidding, after they leave, we are back on the wedding grind. We had taken a break.
Jensen and all her weddings.
All the weddings. Okay, I just need to say, we had this discussion last night. If we didn't have social media, we were saying that you could have a dress for the year, and this is like your wedding dress, and you just
events, baby showers, bridal showers, everything.
But we feel like we need to have a different dress for every event, because if we post a picture, it's like, I don't want to be seen wearing the same dress to 6 weddings, but like who cares? Like, it's so funny how, like, we feel like we have to look a certain way because of social media. But nonetheless, we have a wedding today. We have a wedding today. And then tomorrow.
Wrap it up.
Tomorrow we have a wedding reception brunch. Our friends eloped and had this beautiful wedding out west. Yeah, it was gorgeous. And they're having like a little like drop-in brunch.
Cute.
I know.
Just like drop in when you can. I love that.
And brunch. Nothing's better than brunch.
That's a great idea.
We're here for it. And then we have a little like 4th of July pool party with our small group. And yeah, we have a 4th of July party on Monday night, and then Logan and I are golfing on the actual 4th, like that Tuesday. We're doing like, I'm gonna play 9, he'll play 18, and then I will go to the pool for the rest of the 9. So that's our plan so far. I know, I'm really excited. I'm glad we're here. I feel like last year we were in Ocean City, Maryland on the 4th, which was super fun. Like we went with our friends Thomas and Alexis, had the best time. But it's just nice to like be here, be home, and to just like, yeah, I don't know. Being home, I feel like we're always on the go with weddings and travel and stuff, so it's just nice to like be in our house. So I'm just excited. It's a fun weekend. It's already been such a fun weekend with you guys here.
Yeah, I think
we've just been having the best time.
It feels like such a long weekend too, because like we are doing this and then like we still have the whole weekend plus Monday, Tuesday.
Like I work Monday, but I'm like working from home, so it's like, it's not that I'm not working, but it's like there's a different feel when you're like,
it'll be a light day, right?
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna really need me on the 3rd of
Watch
July?
there be like,
I'm gonna have like millions
the company's crashing and burning. Emergency meeting.
But that's my life update, so nothing really too crazy, but I'm like so excited for this episode because we're giving you our opinions.
It's gonna be unhinged.
These are our opinions, and if you don't agree with them, that's okay.
Sorry.
But
it's my birthday. You can't cancel me.
Yeah, you can leave hate comments for Jensen, but not Rachel. Just tell her happy birthday. So, you want to go first? It's your birthday. You start us out.
Sure. Health hot take number 1. I think probably 90% of people who are gym guys or girls aren't healthy. And I think that the gym culture can be really toxic. Even when you're like a girl that lifts and is healthy and does macros or all these things. I think so much of like the gym culture or hitting macros actually leads you to eating like unhealthy foods or forcing yourself to eat like a certain amount of protein. So then you're like, what are these other foods that I have that have higher protein? Some of the protein powders are just the nastiest thing you could put in your body. Also like waking up first thing in the morning and going into a gym with blaring music with your AirPods in with EMFs and bright fluorescent lights before you get any sunlight and doing this intense workout, I would argue might not be the best for your hormones compared to like some light yoga on the deck. And so like, I mean, obviously I can't say all people are unhealthy, but I think we see a lot of those people and we're like, they look so good or they look like the picture of health. Like, look at that girl. She's like really lean, but muscular and toned, or even like, oh, she's bulkier, but like really toned and like, not like, I don't want it to sound like judgmental, but like, I think health is so much bigger. I'm going to share with you what I told you when we came here the other night. I was laying in bed falling asleep and I said to my husband, because I'm not very good at math, really, and he's good at math. I'm like, and I can just say something and he has like the answer like that math wise. I'd need to get like a calculator or take time. I said, if I'm spending 5 hours a week doing something, what percent of my week is it? And he gave me the right answer. I think it was 3%. I could be wrong on what his answer was, but it was like something like 3%. And I was like, okay, so if that's 5 days a week, I'm working out for an hour. That's 3% of my week. So health, that's the fitness component is like 3% of it. So what am I spending my other time doing? Like 30 to 40% sleeping. So why am I not focusing on that for my health? Eating, my posture during the workday, my mental state, my stress. Like, what are the things that are eating up our time that really go into health? And I think so many people have like this isolated like gym girl perspective with like macros and lifting. And I think strength training is great. And I think all that stuff's great. But like when you really look at like your body in a holistic picture of health, 3% of your week, if you're doing an hour a day for 5 days, which not even everyone does, like health is way more than that. So I'm just saying like, I think sometimes we idealize it, like looking online, like, oh, these people must be so fit. They're always in the gym and they're eating this, like they're what they eat in a day and like that type of stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, that's like 3 to 5% of their day though. Yeah. Are they actually healthy? Or are they losing sleep to get this done? Yeah. Are they chronically stressed? Are they like on a caffeine high?
Yeah, and I feel like that ideal, like, and again, not to be judgmental, but sometimes you see that like gym girl, and that's usually the girl that's always posting about her workouts and her like sports bra and spandex, and probably people are like, oh, canceling Jensen right now.
Yeah, but, at me. I have a picture on my feed of me.
But also, like, I know a lot of times, like, when you're posting a lot of pictures of yourself at the gym, like, there's like a mental component of that where it's like, I know for me, if I was doing that, like, there's a lot of body image wrapped up in that too. And I'm not saying everyone struggles with that, but like, there is definitely like a look if you're like a gym girl and you feel like, and even just like you were saying from the beginning, like nourishing yourself, like some of the proteins, the pre-workouts, like you're probably just like focusing so hard on the macros that you're not looking at like, am I getting vitamin A, vitamin D? Am I getting like the actual things that are nourishing my hormones? Like things that are really making me holistically healthy, because you're focused on like hitting your macros, looking a certain way, which, no offense, like the way you look does not determine your health, which I think is our society thinks if you are lean, if you have abs, if you are toned, you are healthy. And I can tell you, when I was my leanest, I was my unhealthiest. Same. Like people would look at me and be like, oh my gosh, wow, look at you freshman year of college, like you look really lean. And I was like, well, I didn't get a period that entire year, so yeah.
Can I also say that if we took away Instagram and mirrors, what would your workouts look like and what would your goals be? Because I don't think it'd be to grow the booty and get lean and like, maybe it would. I think it'd probably be to move your body and be healthy. Yeah. And I think that can look a lot of different ways. And again, I am a strong advocate for strength training.
Yes, we both go to the gym and strength train weekly. Like we do. We love it.
But I just think it's such a culture right now that the gym is becoming more mainstream for girls, which is good that girls are feeling more comfortable lifting and like being in the gym in that capacity. But I think there's a lot of toxicity that can come from it. And I think we really need to dial it back to like 100 years ago, what would have my health goals been? Yeah. And like, when I'm an old grandma, am I still gonna do this for health when I can't post the pictures of my wrinkly, saggy, skinny butt? Like, am I still gonna be doing this, or is it for aesthetics?
Wow, that was a really hot take that we just started out with.
Okay, yeah, give us your next one, Jensen.
So my next one is fitness trackers or stressors.
We're coming at the fitness world right now.
Sorry, let's roll it back to high school. I had a Fitbit. I had the one that you wore on your hip, so you couldn't see it. I literally put it on my underwear, so you literally could not see this. I wore it during every basketball game during my high school career. Oh, it never was off my body. If you actually would look at my app, if I like log back in, because it has your steps for like a lifetime. I've like walked the globe. Like I've had this from like 9th grade to like, and I use it for marathons. So it's like, it's picked up every step. And I used it probably till like COVID-ish. I was a psychopath. I would not let myself go to school in high school until I had 2,000 steps. I would walk around my house. This sounds crazy. No, I literally would take steps around my house till I hit 2,000 steps.
Wait, I think I remember that.
Then I could go to school after I'd eaten and barely had any breakfast and was like not eating. But I was like so obsessed with these numbers and I couldn't go to bed unless I hit 10,000 steps. And I was just so crazy about it. And that's not healthy. And I think we're trying to be less connected to technology. And when we have our wrist and we're trying to close our rings, and I know that some people love that. And
it scares me.
If it works for you, that's great. But I just think like there's a stressor about like seeing your calories, your steps. Like I feel like it's just information overload that can really just like cause more stress than needed. So you know what? If it works for you, great. I'm not saying get rid of your Apple Watch. I feel like everyone has an Apple Watch and they look at their steps and stuff. But for me personally, I don't use that anymore. And I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So that's just my personal opinion. I was a Fitbit girl through and through for like 8 or 9 years. Like it was something I did and I found freedom not using it. But that's my personal experience.
Yeah, I agree with your hot take. It scares me having something. What is it that's reading? throughout the day. And like, I'm scared of EMFs here, okay? I'm scared of all the technology's impact on our brain and our health and all these things. What's going on there? It's like how you're like, oh, I don't want to have my phone in my pocket, or like causing cancer. Like, we gonna see wrist cancer in 50 years, right where the Fitbit is? Like, that's like really out there. Sorry, getting a little conspiracy theorist. This is me thinking out loud. Again, you can't cancel me. I can see it's all kinds of things today. No, I just don't like being tethered to something like constantly. I feel like it inundates you with having your focus be on your body and on your health and on your fitness. And that's just like, again, my whole, like the way I think is like 150 years ago.
Yeah.
Our ancestors were just getting stuff by naturally doing stuff, not by like being like, I have to hit a number.
Well, it's kind of like when you're like obsessed with the number on a scale, if you're obsessed with how many calories you're eating, it's like these numbers, we get so tied to them, and it's like if we aren't hitting them, or if it's just very toxic, I think. So yeah, hot take. Rachel, what's your next one?
My next one is being a boss babe or participating in hustle culture is overrated.
Which, if you listen to our episode with Lizzie on yoga, we talked about how the three of us, like, our mindset is to be a boss babe, and
which I feel cringy saying that. Yeah. Okay, I'm saying that like sarcastically.
Yes, go into more in detail.
They used to have, like, when we were like in high school, like you could get like little plaques that said like hashtag boss babe.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes,
like the stores, like Home Goods and stuff had those.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, this one could be loaded. Okay. I think that our culture has had a big push for women to be strong and independent. And I think women are incredible and capable of so much. Mm-hmm. But I think that we are chronically overloaded and overstressed, like we talked about in our stress episode. And I think that this pours into it, is that push to be like, do it all and be it all. Like, I can be the girl who goes and like dominates at my office job, and also like goes to the workout class, and also is the ideal soccer mom, and then making these healthy choices and making homemade sourdough and going on these trips with my husband and dressing cute and like still taking time for self-care and like spending time with my family. Too many balls to juggle. Mm-hmm. Okay? For me anyway, that it becomes a stressor. And I just think this culture pushes us into like the boss babe or hustle culture is like, you have to do it all, be it all, and be the best at it all. Mm-hmm. And like, you cannot. At some point you have to be like, I cannot do all these things and be the best at them. And like, what really matters here? What are the things I need to focus on? I'm not saying like suck at your job on purpose or something. I'm saying though, like, sometimes that might be like, I need to switch jobs because this is too stressful and too demanding on me. Or I need to pull back to part-time or do something else because I want to prioritize these other things. Or that some of the other things need cut out of your life. You don't need to be a fitness instructor before you go in and do this. Not at you, Jensen, but and both of us, right? Yeah, really. Both of us. We're working a full-time like office job, and then I'm doing health coaching on the side. Jensen's a pure barre instructor.
Oh, and running a podcast.
So we're preaching to the choir here.
Yes.
This is something we struggle with.
Yeah.
But it's overrated because it just creates this cycle of stress, and it's like, does it matter in the end?
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
No.
That culture's overrated, and I'm done with it.
I love it.
My deepest desire is to be a stay-at-home mom who bakes sourdough, and that's my sole job.
Same.
Not baking sourdough, being a mom. Sorry, kids. Take care of yourselves. I've got a sourdough baby to care for. That's my hot take.
I love it. Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
What's your next one?
So my next one isn't really like, I wouldn't call it a hot take, but it's just something I want to talk about because I feel like I'm seeing it more in like health culture, and I don't know what you know about it, but I was with some people, I'm not going to out them because they said like, don't say that it was us that asked about it, but they're probably listening. But can we talk about coffee enemas?
Okay, let's talk about coffee
So
enemas.
I feel like I'm seeing these in the health industry about like women doing them, and I'm like, what even is a coffee enema? And it's literally where you like
Are you gonna
shoot coffee up your butt, and it literally
It is. Good job.
It is, and it's like a colon cleanse that's used as like alternative medicine, and basically
I don't know why coffee.
Well, it's caffeinated, the caffeine in it. Yes.
I guess coffee like makes you poop. Is that the thought?
Yes,
like it like clears it
because
out.
you're literally
Okay.
shooting caffeine up yourself through the rectum. But I was looking into like why people do it, and it helps with, there's a lot of things, and one is like helps with yeast overgrowth, helps with autoimmune diseases, and the big thing is if you have a parasite, it's really helping to remove that from you, which I know like parasite cleanses are also like a thing now.
That could be a hot take in itself.
That could
like,
be a thing in itself.
Does everybody have a parasite, or are they trying to get you to buy their parasite cleanser?
Yeah, and they say it can remove heavy metals from your body. So
Okay.
there's all these benefits to it. I know people like do them regularly. I don't know. It wasn't really a hot take. It was more.
I was
just,
gonna
like,
say, what's the hot take on that,
there's
Jensen?
just like I don't even know what it is, but it's like, have you ever thought about doing one? Have you known anyone that's done one? Like, what's your thought on it? Do you think it sounds overrated? Because I don't really know much.
I think like it could be something that you could overdo or have negative side effects from potentially.
Yeah.
I'd be down to do an enema once. We should do it for Crunchy or
I
Krunchy. I'd want someone to do it for me though.
Yeah.
Like I'm not giving myself one.
Yeah.
Which maybe it's more weird to have someone do it for me. But like I feel like if I gave myself one, what if I like hurt myself?
Like, is it painful? Like I feel like
it'd feel weird. It feel weird. I would like that it feels like, oh my gosh, I like really cleaned myself.
Well, yeah, no, they say you feel amazing after.
Well, you're probably having a caffeine high from the coffee one.
And it's like, but then you're just like going to the bathroom like crazy, and you're clearing every. Okay.
Do Jensen and I need to schedule coffee enemas together?
So
Let us know.
I'm curious if anyone's listening. Maybe you don't want to share this with us. You don't have to. But I'm curious if anyone's ever done one, because I feel like I've seen like some influencers or like in the health industry do them. And I'm just curious, like, is it worth it? Do you actually feel better after? Or is it just like painful and terrible and you never do it again? So more just like throwing the idea out there and bringing a topic up. But yeah, not really a hot take. If we ever do it, we'll give you a hot take on it. I don't know if we will, but yeah, that's mine.
Okay, so that kind of segues into mine.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it can fit in this category.
Okay.
That I think the crunchy lifestyle. Well, this isn't actually what I had written down, but now I'm making it more overarching, so
Okay.
I'll explain. I think that the crunchy lifestyle in general can be a scam or a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
I think it's very mainstream right now. It's very popular. Good. I'm glad there's exposure to like people being like, oh, you can't have this dye in Europe, but you can in the US. Like, maybe we shouldn't eat it, right? But I think a lot of it is like most things, people can make money off of fear mongering other people.
Yep.
So, or selling like the magic cure-all.
Yeah.
So what I really had written down was essential oils are a scam. That one really could get me canceled. And I don't want to like fully say that, because I think essential oils can be nice. They can be useful. You can use them in home products. You can use them in things.
Are you staring at my essential
I am
oils
staring
on the
at your
counter?
essential oils on the counter. I have essential oils at my house.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of money to be made in essential oils, and a lot of it is marketing. And I think they're not a cure-all. I think a lot of these health things aren't a cure-all. I think coffee enemas, I'm sure there's some type of company that sells them as this is going to heal you and make you feel amazing. I think you're going to find a million supplements that say that.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to find castor oil packs. Those are the answer. This is the answer.
The multi-level marketing companies that are trying to sell you their...
Everybody's going to make a buck on either making you think they can make you the healthiest person ever, or heal your disease, or I don't know. I think that we really need to, like, if we're living this crunchy lifestyle, keep in perspective, like, that's just making healthier choices. And like, if you're starting to invest all this money in this stuff, like, really just be careful, I would say, because I honestly think that the most impactful changes you can make are ones that don't cost money. It's getting better sleep, it's sunlight, it's walking outside, it's mindset,
Drinking more water.
drinking water. It's the small things. And again, I'll go back to 150 years ago. Like, if we're like, how did our ancestors live? Were they healthy? Like, what would we do if we weren't living in today's day and time? They weren't diffusing essential oils. Yeah, they were using herbs medicinally and stuff. And that's the thing. Like, herbalism, I think, is incredible, but I think there's an overuse of essential oils. I think there's an overuse of supplements. I think because this is all marketed, people are making money off it. I am very like staunch on like, I really do not spend a lot of money on like supplements and these Krunchy products and stuff. I have in the past. I've done the whole essential oil thing. I've done all these things. I think you just have to be careful. I think do like even the cleaners and stuff, like make your own with like vinegar and lemons or baking soda. Like, really simple things are really what normally make the most impact here. And you can get really caught up in spending a lot of money. And I'd just be wary of anyone who's like, this is going to kill you or you need this and stuff, because there's people with ill intentions, and then there's people that truly do believe it. But like, it's not about adding in, it's about like stripping down and going back to the basics and just making healthier choices. So that's my hot take.
One example I have with that, I couldn't agree more, first off, but my brother-in-law, he bought this protein, and it was like, it's called like nose to tail or something, and basically it has like all of like, it has like liver, heart, everything in it, which is really cool. And he got it for me for like Christmas or something, but it was like $70, I think, for this bag of protein powder. Whereas like, I can go into my fridge right now, and I literally have packs of liver probably for the next 3 years of my life because of what people have given me. So, and it costs me nothing. Yeah. So it's like, that literally is free. Obviously you have to taste it, but I think we overspend, we overcomplicate things. Whereas like, go to the source, like eat simpler, get outside, drink water. Like, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but just don't overspend, don't overcomplicate it, because people want to make money.
Krunchy lifestyle is a scam. You heard it here. Yeah. On Kind of Krunchy.
Wow.
Major hot take. Did we just cancel our podcast? Is this the last episode?
Well, it's free for you to listen to this.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And we're literally trying to sell you nothing other than our merch. But that's like clothing, and like, it's just like, if you like us.
If you like us.
It really is like, yeah, we're not like make and bake on that.
No.
We're not.
We honestly just wanted our...
No, we're actually...
We wanted our own Kind of Krunchy merch, and we're like, we should sell this too. But
we're actually maybe losing money on shipping it out. This is an investment.
It's fine. Okay, my next one is high protein diets are not the way to go. And kind of going off that, it's more of like a high of anything diet, like a high fat diet, a high protein diet. Like, I think there's this thing of like, we have to be like all in on something, where it's like, can we just like eat a normal balanced diet? Because I feel like when you focus too much on like protein or fat, like, you just don't feel great. Like, literally, like when I was eating a high protein diet this past winter, I like kind of gained weight and felt crappy, and I was like, but I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't digest food as well. Like, it was a lot on my body. Like, I still eat protein now. Like, you need to have a good balance. But I think like the fitness world and just like culture now is like protein. And I think like that kind of takes away like the intuitive eating behind, like, you know what it feels like to feel like you're nourishing yourself and you feel good. And like, if you don't hit 100 grams of protein, like, that's okay. Like, I feel like we give ourselves these numbers of like macros we need to hit because society says like, you need these many fats to have good hormones, this much protein to like have your hormone. I don't know. I just feel like eating a balanced diet is like the way to go. And I feel like society is just like, nope, you need to like hit your macros. And I don't know. What's your take on that?
I think it's like, everybody's got like really specific goals now and stuff. And it's like, we just dwell so much on like our bodies and the aesthetics of it and like the health of it. And it's like, again, just stripping it back to like being more intuitive with it. And like, yeah, if it doesn't feel good and you're like, but I want to hit this macro number because I need to make these gains, or I want to have the toned look, or because everybody says protein's good, like, that is not healthy if you are like force feeding yourself, or if it doesn't feel good for you, or like you're having to like overthink about food. And I'd almost argue any type of, like, that's almost like a not an eating disorder, but disordered outlook on eating. When you're dwelling on it in any way, when you're participating in like a diet culture like that. And like, I know people, sometimes there are diets that are necessary for certain health conditions and stuff that are like almost prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah.
But I think in general, like, can we just like stop like focusing on what we're eating so much in numbers? Like, that's not healthy either. Like in this diet health culture, like, can we just try to eat healthy things intuitively?
Yeah. That's all I have about that.
I like it. Okay, my next one is I hate paper straws. And I don't think they're really making a difference. This is what irks me. We go somewhere and they give us a paper straw and a plastic cup. And it's like,
what are you doing?
Give me the plastic straw at this point. Like, you're not making the impact. I feel like it's like a cover up for like, it makes you feel good. Like you're doing something to make an impact. But then you're going and throwing the plastic cup away and it's like going in the ocean. You're not recycling it. Like, I think that the environment, like, I am a big, like, I feel awful that there's like turtles dying in the ocean and animals from these plastics and things. And I think that we need to be more conscientious. I also think like too, like, okay, like on a little like Christianity aside, like that so many Christians just like don't care about that. And it's like God created this earth and like we are supposed to be tenders and caretakers of it. And we should care about our impact on the earth. And like everyone should care about that, whether you're like Christian or not, I think. But like, it matters to me, like the treatment of animals and stuff like that, because I think it's all like beautiful creation. And I think we need to be conscientious consumers. But like the paper straws, I feel like it makes people think they're making an impact when there are far bigger things they could do to actually impact that. Reducing their overall waste. Not, you do Walmart pickup now, guess what? They are double bagging each item singularly. I literally, before they had the option on my app, called and asked them, is there any option for me to do pickup and not have my items bagged? I have a grocery basket or a laundry basket in my car that you can put groceries in. They were like, oh yeah, sure. Well, now it is an option on their app. But just like, I feel like that's more of an impact than not using a plastic straw. And like, yes, the small things add up, but like if you're not making daily decisions like with recycling and things like that, also the issue stems bigger than just the United States, like worldwide. And like, we've got these jets flying. We have just like over consumption and overuse of all these things that are like polluting the air in the world. Again, with the sustainable fashion and stuff, we have these big companies that are fast fashion and they're producing these in countries that don't have as many regulations on like environmental impact and stuff. And it's contributing negatively to the health of our globe because we want quick, we want instantaneous, we want cheap. And the problem's bigger than just the US. And I just feel like the paper straws just are a make people feel good thing. And they're not making the big impacts that we need to.
And they're so annoying. Like that's
they like,
also
yes, okay, yeah,
annoying.
that too.
We were just in Maine, the one place we went to, they gave us paper straws and Logan's like, I hate paper straws. Like he really hates them. And we were at dinner last night and they gave us paper straws and I'm like, this is annoying. And then by the time you're halfway through your drink, it's like all like disintegrated almost. So one, they're not great. One, it doesn't really make that big of an environmental difference. Two, they're annoying. So
it's
overrated.
If like you are literally doing best practices at your entire restaurant and company, and you are sourcing that food from other places that are doing best practices, I am fine with the paper straw. But if I'm going to a Starbucks and they are giving me a paper straw when I know that their work environments are like not good for their workers in other countries, not sustainable practices, negatively impacting the environment, and then they're giving you in a plastic cup, and no, don't try to pretend like you're making a difference. You better be really putting in the effort if I'm getting a paper straw. So that's that. That's my hot take.
I just have one more that I want to hit on. So intermittent fasting is bad for female hormones. So I feel like intermittent fasting has become a big thing, and I think it's actually, again, I could dive into more science. The research I've done is it's actually really healthy for males to do, just because their hormones are like, they're not
24-hour cycles, same every day.
Women are like, women, we're just all over the place.
The girls.
Yeah, exactly. So there really can be not helpful for women's hormones. I know that like waiting till noon to have food, like your blood sugar is gonna spike through the roof. You're gonna be all over the place. I just think it's like a gym girls type of thing where it's like, oh, it helps you to like maybe be able to like eat more in that certain amount of time, or there's like health benefits to it. I think it messes with your hormones. I think it's not healthy either. I think there's a lot of diet culture behind it too. But Rachel, you actually...
Oh no, she's coming at me on my birthday. This isn't my actual birthday though, so.
But you talk about fasting and you've done it in actually super like healthy ways. So like, maybe you just want to talk about how when you've done fasting where it's not like, how it doesn't like wreck your hormones, I guess. Like talk about that.
On the spot.
Okay,
so yeah, I would agree with you. I think regular, consistent, intermittent fasting for women that still have a menstrual cycle is not the best. I think once women have gone through menopause, their hormones balance out more so similar to men's than like someone who's on their period. So I think if it's something a lady that's past menopause wants to practice, that's something she could look into, and it'd maybe be safer than for like women our age that are still having a consistent menstrual cycle. It can impact your hormones. Women are on a month-long cycle of hormones, whereas guys are on a 24-hour cycle. And so there are different impacts of that. I think that fasting, though, can be an incredible tool for healing. It can help reduce inflammation. It can give your organs a rest. It helps your body to get in a state of like kind of cleaning out and resetting and
also biblical.
Just on the cellular level, a rest. And we don't often get that. If you think about our body, we are like eating consistently that those organs are having to always be at work. So when I have fasted before, I have a few rules. It has to be intentional. It's not for weight loss. I, as a girl, only do it during my follicular phase because your body needs less calories during that and has a little more energy and stuff. I also I've done like 3 to 5 day fasts. Normally at the start of each January, I will do a fast 3 to 5 days, and it is like an intentional life fast. It is without my phone. It is without technology. It's without TV, podcast, music, anything. I fast from like everything and really do a hard reset on life at the beginning of the year. And food is also part of that. And I spend a lot of time resting and praying and meditating and those things. And it's really healing for me. When I am really struggling with health, I will do a like 36 to 48 hour fast sometimes. I do not do that regularly, maybe once to twice a year to allow my body some healing, especially if there's a lot of inflammation. Again, during my follicular phase, intentional, not for weight loss. When I come out of that fast, I am focused on eating really whole nourishing foods, bone broths, gut healthy foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, things like that, rices like chickens, really whole healthy foods, drinking plenty of water on the fast, and resting and sleeping more because your body's going to be lower energy. So I do think it can be an amazing tool, but I don't think it should be like a regular practice. I think it should be used as a health healing tool. And like, obviously, disclaimer, like if you have underlying conditions or something, like check with the doctor. Don't just be like, I'm not eating for days. Like
Rachel said to do a 36-hour fast.
Kind of Krunchy told me. No. So I think you have to be careful. I think you have to be intentional. I think there's no reason to overuse a fast. I think there are negative impacts of doing it on your hormones and stuff. I personally feel that the benefits outweigh those negative impacts for me to do it once a year. And I feel in a place where my hormones are balanced and good enough that I can bear the load of that small stressor on my body for the positive impacts it's going to have. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. So what works for me isn't going to work for you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You want to hit your do you have one or two more left?
Okay, I have one more.
Okay.
And this one's like not even a health one. I'm going to share two because we talked about one last night.
What was last night?
Okay, maybe you'll remember when.
Okay.
I am over Airbnbs. I'm done with Airbnbs. They're just like, you are paying the same price as a hotel. You're not, I feel unsafe in them. Sometimes, like, the owner could just have a key. They could have cameras anywhere. I'm having to strip the sheets, clean the whole place, pay a cleaning fee. I love a hotel. The experience of a hotel, the bed, the breakfast, the pool. I love a hotel. And that's my hot take is hotels are in, Airbnbs are out.
I couldn't agree more. There's nothing better than when you walk into a fresh, clean hotel room and you know it's clean. When we were in West Palm Beach for a wedding, they had this amazing breakfast every morning, unlimited coffee. Like, it was just that didn't have a pool, but a lot of them
the
have
hospitality.
A pool. The hospitality. Like, knowing like, if I need extra towels, I just go get them. And I can leave the room a mess. Not that I'm a slob.
I'm going to trash this
But like,
room.
I feel like we just stayed in an Airbnb in Maine. And luckily this Airbnb just said like, hey, like, put the towels in this basket. We'll do, like, they were like, we'll do the sheets. We'll take like, it was really nice. But I've been in some Airbnbs where it's like, you have a list of things. And if you don't do them, they can charge you. And when you look at an Airbnb price, you're like, oh my gosh, $80 a night. But then it's like $70 of cleaning fees, which, okay.
And taxes.
And taxes. And
then you want to get a super host so you know it's actually a good one. And then those are more expensive because you could find a flop otherwise.
And like you're messaging the host where it's like a hotel is just like, it's just easier.
You can literally show up day of at a hotel and say, can I get a room?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
That's amazing.
The only thing I would say is Airbnbs are good if you have a group. So say you're doing like a long weekend.
Yes.
I think that's fine for a group because like if you're in a hotel and you don't want to get different rooms, and where do you hang out? Airbnbs are good for groups.
Or if they're like a really special experience. Like it's a super unique Airbnb.
Yes, like you're staying in like a tree house or something really cool. Like you're there for the experience. Like, and another thing is like,
and you're willing to pay more for that.
Like a bachelorette party. I'm not gonna stay in a hotel for a bachelorette party. You're gonna get an Airbnb. Like those are instances where it makes sense. But I would just say if Logan and I are going somewhere, like I would prefer a hotel. And I couldn't agree more with you, Rachel.
Same. So I love the hotel amenities.
We love amenities. Amenities, girls.
The one that we were talking about last night. Do you remember it?
Concerts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Concerts are out. We're done with concerts. That's our hot take. I don't want to go to a concert. Can't even hear the music. Okay, I'm probably uncomfortable because of the weather. My seat's far away. I had to arrange all these things to go. I paid for the ticket and then I'm paying for dinner. I'm just not having a good time. Do you know what's in? I can listen to that in my house and enjoy it better. I don't care about seeing that person perform it live. I'd rather go to like an orchestra and like very like nicely clap for them and really appreciate the music. Okay, that's one thing. But I just feel like concerts are out. I'm done with concerts. Concerts are out. Maybe sporting events are in.
I would agree. I feel like we were discussing that like there's kind of like an idolization of concerts now where it's like we feel like people are just like, you're so obsessed with the people. Like it's almost like unhealthy.
Yeah, I do like the commonality of like, okay, for like Taylor Swift, like they're all dressing in outfits. Yes, like, I think it's like cute. I think it's fun. But like in general, I'm just over concerts. Yeah. Like I am. And that's my hot take. And you might not agree, but
it's not our thing anymore. But I will say one thing, and this is my friend Kirsten always tells me this, like she says that one of her favorite things in this world is when you're at a concert and like the singer stops singing and you hear the entire crowd in unison, and it's just like a beautiful thing of like everyone's voices uniting. That's really cool. But
I think there can be like a community or a commonality, and I think that's why people like them. But I'm just like, yeah, I'm not here for it anymore. And I love music.
Country concerts are kind of fun, but I'm like, I don't feel like I need to spend the money to go to one. Like, I feel like those are more like a summer vibe, and like, I'd be willing to go to one of those.
I feel like I can like, also this is like a testament to like online or TikTok. Like, you can watch them perform through there, which really like, that should be why you have to go to the concert to get that experience or whatever. I feel like I'd rather go to a sporting event, and I'm not even a sporting person, but like, you don't know what's gonna happen. You're rooting for or against someone. Like, you're part of a common cause.
Yeah.
Like, you get to tailgate or whatever. Like, I'd rather go to a sporting event if I'm gonna go to something. I just feel more excitement, more engaged than like the music. I've already heard this music before, and I can't even hear it to appreciate like the quality of it.
Yeah. Well, if you want good seats too, you're spending like $1 million.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very like, I'd rather like really listen and pay attention to the music, and the concert doesn't give me that experience.
Yeah. So
anyway, that's my hot take.
That's our hot take. But I don't have any more.
I don't either. We were gonna do our Q&A.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We had a few questions come in.
Let me find them.
They're fun. We actually had some really good ones that we like. That we were like, ooh, we have to think about these.
Okay. Let's start with the first one.
Yeah. So the first one is, I have a difficult time drinking milk. I've never been able to get past the taste. I want to try to drink raw milk, but do you have any other good alternatives for people who struggle with drinking raw milk?
I would just say first, some raw milk tastes more
milky
than others. I swear, Landis Family Farm in Lancaster, their raw milk is like the best, and that's just like
I think it depends on the cows too.
Sponsor me, because I literally love them so much, but their milk doesn't have because
I don't think they're doing sponsorship.
Well, I promote them to everyone, just so they should. But I think I've had raw milk that tastes a little bit more like, I don't even know how to describe it. So I guess I would just maybe, one, try some different sources, but two, like mixing it into smoothies, putting in your oatmeal, like where you're not literally drinking it, but you're still like consuming it, so you're getting like the benefits from it. Because a lot of people just don't like to drink milk, and I think that's like fine, but like where can you incorporate it into your diet where it's not like you're just pouring a glass of it?
I don't like milk. Like, a glass of plain milk grosses me out unless I'm like drinking it with a cookie or a brownie. My husband loves milk, just would love to just drink a cold glass of milk, and it kind of grosses me out. I don't think raw milk is like the end all be all to health solutions. I think like if that's something for you that you're like, I don't really like milk, maybe it's just something you bypass. Like, and when you drink milk, you have regular milk, but you don't regularly incorporate it. I do think raw milk has good health benefits, and it also has risks, like we've talked about. But I think like that's why each health journey is unique, is like that might not be something you do on your health journey, and that's okay. Maybe try to find a local farm that does like low pasteurization, or just even a local farm with milk if you want to drink milk. Yeah, you can add it into things like to kind of mask it, but I like that would honestly be my recommendation. Is I use my raw milk a lot to make butter. I've been trying to make cheese and yogurt. I do not drink a lot of my raw milk regularly. I don't like milk. It's just, I can get good probiotics from a lot of the other foods I'm eating, and good gut health things from other things. So occasionally I'll have a glass of it, but really I'm using it for other things. It's not like I love a good glass of raw milk. That's just never gonna be my thing, and that's okay. Not every health thing is. So it might just be one of those things that you're like, you know what, I really don't need to drink the raw milk. And that's okay. Yeah. Like I really don't drink it all that much either. Yeah.
Okay, our next one. Is borax a clean, healthy ingredient to use in DIY cleaning products?
Okay, so again, we're not research girls to like be able to tell you the chemical compounds of borax and stuff. We both looked up Wellness Mama's article on this because we love to reference her because she really does a lot of research. Yeah. So borax, the way I can best like conceptualize it is that it's almost like similar to like a baking soda, where it's like a naturally found like chemical, I guess, kind of. I know a lot of people use it in homemade laundry detergent, so I'm thinking maybe that's where this question's coming from. I don't use borax to make my own laundry detergent. Wow, I am struggling today. It's that time. I don't make my own laundry detergent. I buy one from Molly's Sides, and that's something that like is easier for me to do. Based on like the article I read from Wellness Mama, and like my thoughts are, I would be careful with it, like you are any chemical that you don't like. Obviously, do not eat it. Don't put it like directly on your skin. I think if it's kind of like diluted and mixed in something, you could try it in a laundry detergent. But again, like if you notice anything different, like an irritation or anything, I would switch them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what she said. Like, she didn't find any like compelling arguments that it's like really bad for you. But like, there's not a ton of research on it, so it just like, it's probably more safe than like all the chemicals in the stores because it is like more natural. But again, like everyone's body also reacts to things differently. So if you want to use it and it works for you, use it. But I also like, again, don't like ingest it, apply it to your skin.
It's just like if you're gonna clean with baking soda and vinegar, like that can irritate your skin too. Like, you don't need to be rubbing baking soda right on your skin. You know what I mean? So just like be careful with everything you use if you're gonna try something that's like a little crunchier and you're like apprehensive. The next one says, where are you guys buying meat from?
Do you
want addresses?
So, I mean, I would say,
so
we just got a lot of meat from Logan's cousin, who is a farmer, so find your local farmer. So we just got a bunch of meat that'll probably last us like 2 years. Chicken's hard. I feel like I just get my chicken from Aldi. I try to get like the cleanest brand there, but like it's really hard to find like good chicken for a normal cost that's not breaking the bank. So I would say like control what you can control that's not going to break the bank. So yeah, we get our meat from a local farm, our beef from a local farmer, but then like usually I'll get like, try to get like organic chicken sausages, or try to get like the organic non-hormone. I mean, I can't say 100% that that's completely clean, but trying to make the better choices there is what I would say. What about you, Rachel?
So, I mean, I live in rural PA. We get a cow with my parents every year from a local farmer. It's grass-fed. And so we share that. So that's our beef. Pork, honestly, we don't eat a ton of pork. And when I have in the past, I've sourced it either from like a local store, like Lone Oak is one by me, or I have before gotten it in the store. Like if I'm making pulled pork for a function, I just bought a pork butt in the store. The thing is, like the pigs, if you like see that some of the pig meat sometimes can come from China and they're like in multi-level factories, not getting any sun, eating trash. It is like, I don't really want to put that in my body. We are getting a pig this fall for the first time to share with my parents. And what we actually did is I found one of the local farms that does really good farming practices near us, and just Facebook message them and ask, when do you have pigs? How much are they? Like, what's the deal? And so we went for it. So we'll see how it goes. We've never gotten one. Chicken is hard. I have tried to source local chicken for years. I have about 4 or 5 people that I know that do chickens, and like with the way they space it, it's normally different times, and I can kind of find some. That's not always the case. Sometimes I have to pick some up at Aldi. Like I don't have enough. Also, it does tend to be expensive, and they come in whole chickens. So then you have to figure out a way to use the whole chicken once you de-thaw it. So that's tricky. And we like to eat chicken. Honestly, my best case scenario for chicken is to, my hope is to one day raise like a batch of 30 to 60 chickens, butcher, and the day of butchering, cut down and vacuum seal some into like breasts, legs, thighs, that type of stuff, and then keep some whole to have chicken for the year. We're not in that place yet in our life. I wish we were. I was literally just saying to Logan on the way here, is there any way at our current house we can do this? And there's just not. So I'm trying to source it as locally as possible. Chicken is like the hardest one. I know there is a website, Good Ranchers, and apparently they have really good like chicken breasts, but I think it is pretty pricey. Yeah. The other thing is, I think we get really used to just using chicken breasts for things, and we have to get more comfortable with cooking wings and legs and thighs, which is at me because I don't like to eat chicken on the bone, so I'm gonna have to get over that. But yeah, chicken's a hard one. If you like are near one of us and want like specific people we use, like message one of us, because I don't know where you live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you want me to go?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Natural ways to reduce inflammation. I feel like there's a lot with this.
Yeah. Turmeric is an amazing herb.
Cinnamon.
You can get those in supplement form even. Get one that has black pepper in it. It helps to activate it. Definitely cold plunging can help with that. Like I said, sometimes fasting.
Grounding. Like there's actually, if you look up like body scans of like the inflammation in your body of like before you ground and after you ground, like the earth literally can reduce inflammation. So try grounding. It's free. Literally be outside more.
reducing your seed oils and processed sugars.
Yeah.
Drinking more water.
Overall, just nourishing yourself.
Moving.
Leafy greens, fruits, olive oils, nuts, like foods that are like good for you and nourishing for you. Limiting your alcohol. I know. Avoiding caffeine. Not avoiding, but limiting caffeine. Things that like they're just inflammatory. So I think like with like inflammation, it's not like you just do one thing. It's like an overall lifestyle. You're incorporating different practices. So I would just say like don't just try to like add turmeric and think you're gonna avoid inflammation. Like it's an overall lifestyle.
Yeah. Then we had like 2 asking about types of workouts to do or what to do at the gym. Any advice with that? My advice with that is get a coach. Promoting myself, no. Or like get a plan. It does just make it way easier. It takes off the stress of going in the gym and being like, what am I going to do? Am I going to see results from it? Like get a professional that has some sort of plan to follow where you're doing like graded activity to build strength or there's intention behind it. That's going to be literally your best bet for like feeling good about your workouts in the gym and making progress.
Yeah, well said. The next question was for me.
At Jensen.
Jensen, how has moving away from your small town changed your life for the better? I wonder if this person is from Punxsutawney. I don't know. I bet they are. They're probably like, how do I get out? How is
or maybe they got out and they're like, you need to share life on the outside.
Well, I don't even know how to answer this because I truly feel finding community is key wherever you are, whether you are in your small town still, whether you move away, like no matter where you go, like finding people is what's gonna make your life better. Like I know that like I feel so plugged in out in Mannheim and Lancaster. Like I found community through my work, through my church, through I don't know. I've just made friends and I feel like I've found like a good community. So like I would just say like when you move out of your small town, you've known the same people your whole life, but it just does open new doors. I would say like being out of a small town, like there's just more things to do. Not that Punxsutawney doesn't have a lot to do.
Available.
But like,
no, Punxsutawney does not have a lot to do.
There's nothing to do.
If you are like a fan of the podcast and not from there, I wouldn't recommend going.
You can go on February 2nd for Groundhog Day, and that's about it. But it's like where I live now is so nice because like it's rural, but also like Lancaster City is 20 minutes away.
She literally has cows that are out in the pasture behind her house right now.
But
you can be at a Target or Chick-fil-A in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so she's got a good deal.
It's the best of both worlds, and we're close to so many airports. We're close to New York City, the beach.
This is really a beautiful location.
It's kind of perfect. I don't ever want to move from here until I'm like 60, and we're like maybe in like South Carolina retired. I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Didn't know that was the plan.
It wasn't. I just pulled that out of nowhere.
I told my Logan, like, if we weren't tied, both our family lives in Punxsutawney, and we're like, they're staying, and that's home base for us. Like, I love this area. Yeah. It's beautiful. Like, yeah, I think
so. I feel like it has changed my life for the better. I still love my hometown. I love going home. It's funny, I thought I would like never leave when I was in high school. I was like, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else, and now I'm like totally so happy out here.
I thought I would leave for sure.
Yeah. But I would just encourage you, like, if you are, like, thinking about, like, leaving your small town or just, like, community's everything. Like, make sure you get plugged in. No matter what you do, like, people make, like, no matter where you live, like, it's the people. So that's my answer. But there was part 2. What's part 2 of it? You want to read it?
Both. Have you ever received negative comments about podcast or living 80-20? I don't think, like, I've received, like, nobody said anything to me in person.
No.
Negative. Maybe they're just holding their tongue.
Yeah.
Everybody hates it, but nobody's telling us.
Yeah.
They're like, stop embarrassing yourself.
Like, most of our reviews have been really good. We
did have some 1 and 3 stars.
Someone left a 1-star review on the podcast.
Which, like, I like the honesty. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's okay.
Yeah. Not salty about that at all.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But no, honestly, really, people haven't, like, pushed back on us. If anything, people ask more about it. They're like, tell us more about it. I feel like people are, like, interested in, like, learning more about it, and no one's like, that's stupid.
I think the thing that, like for me is, I feel like it can be controversial because, like, the Krunchy community can be, like, far reaching in many different aspects. And some of the stuff, like, I don't agree with all the crunchy things that people are doing. Like, this is the hot take episode, and I was saying, like, the crunchy lifestyle is a scam. You know what I mean? Like, I think that that people are always going to have different opinions. And my hope is on this podcast that we're making an open space for us being like, we're here just trying to figure it out, see what works for us, see what works for you. Like, I think at the core, we just want to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. And what that looks like for us might not be for you. So I'm hoping this is more like fun and encouraging to people to talk about this stuff than like pressure or like controversial. Although this is our hot take episode. Maybe the wrong way to say that.
I think the big thing is like the fact that we do claim 80-20. People aren't saying like, oh, you claim this perfect lifestyle, but look at you eating.
And we don't want to. That's we want you to know, like, we are consuming seed oils, even though we know they're bad for us.
Like, we're not perfect.
Sometimes.
So I think like the fact that we don't act like we have it all together, the fact that we like act like we live this perfect life.
We're hoping we don't.
We're hoping we don't, because I feel like we've clearly communicated that we live 80-20 for sure.
Yeah. Okay, the last one. Do you ever feel like the results you see from living kind of crunchy are placebo? I love this question.
We have been discussing this a lot since whoever asked this.
Yeah, I really love this one because it really like made me think. Yes and no. So I do believe things like red dyes, some of the chemicals we spray our crops with, things like that, they are banned in other countries. Like, that is fact because of their negative health impacts. And we don't have as good of regulations here. And so that's just an example I'm using of like, I believe, and like there is research that proves these things to be bad and negatively impact our health. So I believe making choices to avoid those is going to positively impact my health. I also believe though that your mind and body are super connected, and mindset's everything. And is every crunchy change going to positively affect my health or like really matter? I can't say for sure. What I can say is, you know, there's research studies where they give people a real medicine and then the other test group gets a placebo or sugar pill. And guess what? Like 50% of the sugar pill people heal too, because in their mind they think they're receiving the real medication. So am I making myself sound like a nutcase? I think your mind and body are connected, and that it can be incredibly healing if your mindset is health and healing. Your mind alone can be really integral in helping you to be healthy and to heal from things. So like, if it isn't really impactful, I think it still could be just by believing it's impactful. Does that make sense?
I think it does. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you don't, like a lot of times in life, like you're planting seeds, but you don't know if you're always seeing the fruit from it and different things in your life. And I think like we might not see the results of this years from now. We might even not see results of it, but I think like knowing like you're doing your best to nourish yourself, and that's like, and again, nourishing yourself, not trying to be perfect. Like, I can't tell you if like eating something that I feel completely better, but I do know like if I eat a lot of seed oils, my skin breaks out. And I do know if I'm like not sleeping well, that I'm not feeling my best. So there are things that you definitely do see, but some things you don't. And I think like that's where it's like finding your balance of like, okay, I'm going to choose to live as healthy as I can, but I'm not going to like over stress myself out about it, because like sometimes I don't see the results and sometimes I do. I feel like that was a really hard question, whoever asked that, and it really did make us think. So,
and I think if you are doing the whole crunchy thing and it's more of a stressor to you than just like living the way you were, stop. Yeah. That is more negative for your health.
Yeah.
Than being crunchy is positive.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not like authentic and just like you're enjoying it and making small healthy changes, then you really need to like reassess, is this right for me?
Couldn't agree more.
Is that our last one?
That was our last one.
Okay.
Thank you guys for asking.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get canceled from this hot take episode. Let us know your thoughts though. Nicely, please.
Last thing. Happy birthday, Rachel. I hope you're having the best day.
Thank you for recognizing me. I really needed this.
You are just the birthday queen, and I hope your 27 is the best yet.
Me too.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy your pizza. I hope that's happening tonight.
Well, when I listen to this.
Yeah, when you're listening to that,
like, I don't think we're doing pizza.
When you're listening to this on the day of.
Well, guys,
Thanks for being here.
For listening. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful August 8th, Rachel's birthday day.
Yes, and if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a comment wishing Rachel a happy birthday. She would love to hear that.
I would love it.
She would love it. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, and you haven't already, gave us a little review, we'd love that too. But we're just happy you're here. Thanks for listening to our hot takes. Don't cancel us. We love you all, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Remember, although we talk all things health and wellness here, this is not medical advice, and you should always seek out your medical professional for further questions. Thanks again for listening. Please remember to share, comment, and subscribe to help support our podcast.